The Major Investigation Division is currently investigating the tragic shooting that resulted in the deaths of two brothers at their residence in the Bath district of Strathbogie, Westmoreland, on Tuesday night. The victims, identified as 34-year-old Leon Glaze and 31-year-old Cyril Glaze, succumbed to their injuries. Another brother sustained gunshot wounds during the assault. This distressing incident marks the second such occurrence in the parish within a month. According to reports, around 10:30 p.m., a lone assailant entered the brothers' home and unleashed gunfire on its occupants. Following the cessation of the gunfire, the three brothers were discovered with gunshot wounds. They were promptly conveyed to the hospital, where Leon and Cyril were pronounced dead. The injured brother remains hospitalized, his condition deemed serious but stable. This unfortunate event follows another tragedy on Saturday, May 11, when two brothers were fatally shot while playing dominoes at a shop in Burnt Savannah, Frome, within the parish. The victims in that incident were identified as 44-year-old auto mechanic Damian Powell, alias Donkey Knee, and 42-year-old businessman Colin Daly, alias Gary. Additionally, a 61-year-old man also sustained gunshot injuries during the attack. They were reportedly part of a group engaged in a game of dominoes when they were ambushed and shot by two assailants who arrived on a motorcycle. As of June 9, the Westmoreland Police Division has recorded 50 homicides, 5 more than the corresponding period last year. INDECOM has initiated an investigation into the fatal shooting by the police on St. John's Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, on Tuesday morning. The deceased, identified as 22-year-old Jason Taylor, unemployed and residing in St. John's Road, was the victim of the incident. Around 7:30 a.m., a police team reportedly arrived at 81 St. John's Road to locate Taylor. Upon reaching the location, allegations suggest that Taylor was seen emerging from a blue drum with a firearm in his possession. Reportedly, he aimed the weapon at the police officers, prompting them to take evasive action and fire their weapons. Subsequently, Taylor was shot, and the firearm allegedly fell to the ground, where it was retrieved by the police. According to authorities, the weapon recovered was a 9mm pistol fitted with a magazine containing 7 rounds of ammunition. Taylor was rushed to Spanish Town Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. A two-vehicle collision at the intersection of Hanover Street and Charles Street in downtown Kingston has resulted in at least one person being hospitalized. The crash involved a black Suzuki Vitara and a Toyota Probox taxi. Preliminary reports suggest that the accident occurred shortly after 11 a.m. when one of the drivers ran a red light, causing the collision. Additionally, a Jamaica public service pole was damaged in the incident. The Court of Appeal has directed the prosecution to justify why Vybz Kartel and his 3 co-accused should face a retrial for the 2011 murder of Clive Williams, considering they have already endured multiple constitutional breaches during their previous trial. Justice Marva McDonald Bishop, leading a 3-judge panel, raised this issue following defense lawyer John Clark's argument that the constitutional violations the men have experienced should weigh against ordering a retrial. Clark emphasized that a retrial would infringe upon the defendant's right to a fair trial. The panel, which also includes Justices Paulette Williams and David Fraser, will hear arguments from both the defense and the Crown over a 5-day period. Adidja Vybz Kartel Palmer, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones, and Andre St. John were convicted in March 2014, with their convictions upheld by the Court of Appeal in 2020. However, on March 14, 2024, the United Kingdom-based Privy Council, Jamaica's final appellate court, overturned the convictions due to juror misconduct and remitted the case to the Court of Appeal to decide on the retrial. Responding to Justice McDonald Bishop's inquiry about whether the Privy Council had explicitly stated the men's rights were breached, Clark cited the judgment, noting it highlighted an infringement of the appellant's right to a fair hearing by an independent and impartial court, as per Section 16(3) of the Constitution. Justice McDonald Bishop pointed out that this right encompasses being tried by an independent and impartial court, and being tried within a reasonable time. She asked whether, in light of these breaches, a retrial would be in the interest of justice, and demonstrably justified. The judge also questioned the appropriate remedy for someone whose constitutional rights have been breached twice. She indicated that the Privy Council should have addressed whether the breach was demonstrably justified. Clark further argued that a retrial should not proceed if it would place the defendants in a worse position and likely result in additional rights violations. He highlighted the backlog of cases in the Home Circuit Court and the delays a retrial would cause for other defendants who would have to spend more time in jail due to the absence of designated retrial courts. Clark added that the prolonged nature of the case should itself argue against a retrial. He acknowledged the case's complexity and the factors at play, but maintained that the threshold had been surpassed. Clark also cautioned against allowing state resource constraints to foster an environment where prolonged delays become acceptable, stating, "We don't want to live in a country where 13 years can become 16 years through foot dragging."